Welcome to this sacred space of reflection and connection with the Almighty. Today, we are addressing that heavy feeling in your chest, the one that whispers that the world is too loud and your strength is too small. In the next few minutes, we are going to lay down those burdens together because you were never meant to carry them alone. If you feel overwhelmed today, know that this moment was prepared specifically for your soul to find the air it needs to breathe again. According to the holy principles found in the scriptures, our strength is not a limited resource that we must manufacture through effort or sheer will. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31, we are reminded that those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. This is a foundational doctrine of our faith. It tells us that the exchange happens when we stop trying to be the source of our own power and start leaning into the everlasting arms of the Father. When life feels like it is pressing in from every side, it is often because we have forgotten that we are held by a hand that moved the stars into place. In general, the weight of the world feels heavy because we try to process tomorrow's problems with today's limited energy. But the scriptures clarify this in practice. Each day has enough trouble of its own. God provides manna for only 24 hours at a time. This is a divine strategy to keep us close to Him, dependent on His voice every single morning. When you feel overwhelmed, it is often a signal from your spirit that you have moved away from the shade of the Almighty and are standing in the scorching heat of your own anxieties. My beloved child, God is speaking directly to your heart today. He sees the list of tasks that feel like mountains. He sees the relationships that feel strained and the finances that feel thin. He is not surprised by your exhaustion. In fact, it is in our weakness that His power is made perfect. This is a profound Christian truth that transforms the way we look at our trials. Instead of seeing your overwhelm as a sign of failure, start seeing it as an invitation. It is an invitation to experience the shalom, the peace that surpasses all human understanding. This peace is not the absence of trouble, it is the presence of God in the middle of it. I have seen so many souls finding real relief when they apply these principles of total surrender. It depends on the surrender of your heart, but once you give the first step, the understanding begins to work within you. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You only need to have the faith of a mustard seed to believe that the one who started a good work in you is faithful to complete it. The light of God's understanding never abandons us, and today that light is shining on your specific situation. Everything works together for our good when we are aligned with His purpose. This doesn't mean everything will be easy, but it means everything will be meaningful. Your pain is not wasted. Your tears are collected in a bottle by the Father who loves you more than words can express. As we begin this day, let the doctrine of divine providence settle in your mind. God is sovereign. He is in control of the details you cannot see. He is working in the background of your life, weaving together a tapestry of grace that will one day make perfect sense. Now that we understand the principle of divine strength, we must look at how this light reaches the deepest parts of our daily life. The transition from feeling crushed to feeling carried begins with a shift in your internal focus. If you have any doubt about your capacity to endure, consult your Bible or a trusted pastor, and they will remind you that you can do all things through Christ, who strengthens you. This is the bedrock of our hope. Now that we have seen this doctrinal foundation, let us see how we can apply this deep reflection to the very thoughts that try to steal your joy. Agora que compreendemos a base doutrinária da força que vem do alto, é essential que olhemos para o convite mais doce que alguma vez foi feito à humanidade, convite que serve como o coração da nossa reflexão de hoje. No Evangelho segundo Mateus, capítulo 11, versículos 20 y 8 a 30. Jesus faz uma promessa, que é o bálsamo definitivo para qualquer alma que se sinta esmagada pelas pressões da vida moderna. Ele diz, vinde a mim, todos os que estéis cansados e oprimidos, e eu vos aliviarei. Repara na profundidade desta instrução didática, meu querido filho. Ele não diz para vós quando estiveres forte, ou quando tiveres a tua vida resolvida, ou quando todas as tuas contas estiverem pagas e os teus problemas dissipados. Ele chama-te precisamente no teu ponto de maior exaustão, no momento em que os teus ombros já não suportam o peso de mais uma preocupação. Muitas vezes, o sentimento de sobrecarga que experimentas não é apenas o resultado de teres muitas coisas para fazer. É o resultado de estares atento à carga, o que pertence exclusivamente a Deus. De forma didática, podemos olhar para a vida como uma caminhada com uma mochila. Deus desenhou nos para carregar apenas a porção de hoje, mas nós, na nossa ansiedade humana, insistimos em colocar dentro dessa mochila as pedras de amanhã, as rochas do próximo mês e até os fardos pesados de anos que ainda não chegaram. O resultado é cansaço que a medicina não consegue explicar e que o sono não consegue curar. É cansaço da alma e é para esse cansaço que Jesus oferece uma solução prática e transformadora. Ele continua o seu ensinamento dizendo: Tomai sobre vós o meu jugo e aprendei de mim, que sou manso e humilde de coração, e encontrareis descanso para as vossas almas. Porque meu jugo é suave e o meu fardo é leve. Aqui encontramos mini alívio de compreensão fundamental. A vida cristã não é sobre a ausência de fardo, mas sobre a troca de fardo pesado por fardo que é feito à medida da nossa capacidade divina. Na antiguidade, o jugo ou a canga era instrumento de madeira usado para unir dois animais para que pudessem puxar uma carga juntos. Quando Jesus te convida a tomar o jugo dele, ele está a dizer que ele quer estar ao teu lado, dividindo o esforço. O peso que te parece insuportável torna-se leve quando percebes que quem está a fazer a maior parte da força é o Criador do universo que caminha ao teu lado. E o mais belo de tudo isto é que, ao aprendermos com a mansidão e a humildade de Cristo, a nossa perspectiva sobre as dificuldades do dia a dia começa a mudar. Ser manso não significa ser fraco, significa ter a força sob controle, significa confiar tanto na soberania de Deus que não sentes a necessidade de luta contra cada circunstância com as tuas próprias mãos. A humildade permite admitir que não tens todas as respostas, e é nessa admissão que a paz de Deus encontra espaço para entrar e habitar. O entendimento começa a trabalhar em ti, quando aceitas que o teu papel não é controlar o mar, mas confiar no capital que acalma a tempestade. Muitas almas experimentam alívio real quando param de lutar contra o propósito de Deus e começam a fluir com ele. No geral, a resistência que oferecemos às provas da vida é o que gera a maior parte do nosso sofrimento. Quando te sentes sobrecarregado, Deus está a falar diretamente ao teu coração, pedindo-te para soltares as rédeas. Ele quer que compreendas que a tua força espiritual é renovada na quietude e não na agitação. Nas Escrituras, vemos repetidamente que os grandes homens e mulheres de fé encontrarão o seu ponto de viragem quando chegaram ao fim das suas próprias capacidades. É neste deserto de forças humanas que a humana do show começa a quer. De forma didática, a Helena aprendeu que a caridade invisível também começa conosco mesmos, ao sermos misericordiosos com as nossas limitações. Ela parou de se punir por não ser perfeita e começou a aceitar a graça que é dada gratuitamente. Eu vi tantas almas encontrarem alívio real quando aplicam estes princípios de humildade e entrega. No geral, o fardo torna-se leve, não porque os problemas desaparecem, mas porque a presença que caminha conosco é infinitamente maior do que qualquer dificuldade. Deus está a falar ao teu coração agora através desta história. Talvez tu sejas como a Helena, tentando sustentar teto que só a mão do Pai pode segurar. O entendimento começa a trabalhar quando tu paras de lutar contra a tua própria humanidade. Tu és ser limitado, mas serves Deus ilimitado. A transformação da Helena não aconteceu quando ela se tornou mais forte, mas quando ela aceitou ser dependente. Ela aprendeu que, no reino de Deus, para subir é preciso descer, e para sermos verdadeiramente fortes, precisamos de reconhecer a nossa fraqueza perante o trono da graça. Tudo coopera para o bem, até mesmo este tu cansaço extremo. Deus está a usar este momento para te ensinar a ouvir a sua voz suave no meio do ruído do mundo. Tal como aconteceu com a Helena, o teu ponto de ruptura pode ser o teu ponto de encontro mais profundo com o Criador. A paz que procuras não está num lugar sem problemas, mas numa pessoa chamada Jesus Cristo, que está ao teu lado agora mesmo, pronto para trocar o teu fardo pesado pelo descanso sagrado que só Ele pode oferecer. Agora que vimos este exemplo real de como a dor humana se transforma em força através da entrega, estamos prontos para sintetizar estes ensinamentos e abraçar convite para a prática diária que mudará a tua forma de ver cada manhã. Now that we have explored the spiritual foundations and witnessed the real transformation that occurs when we stop fighting with our own hands, we come to a moment of synthesis. It is time to gather everything we have learned and turn it into a practical anchor for your daily life. If you have felt overwhelmed, the first great truth you must embrace is that your exhaustion is not a sign of distance from God, but a signal that you are ready for a new level of intimacy with Him. In general, we only truly surrender when we realize that our own resources have run dry. This is where your new journey begins. To synthesize our path today, remember that finding strength in the middle of a storm requires a deliberate choice to change your internal narrative. Instead of telling God how big your problems are, you must start telling your problems how big your God is. According to the holy teachings of our faith, this is not mere positive thinking. It is the application of the truth that sets us free. The scriptures in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, give us a very clear and practical instruction. Be still and know that I am God. This stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of trust. It is the quiet confidence that the Creator is working even when we cannot see the results yet. I invite you today to a very specific daily practice that many souls have found to be a source of immediate relief. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you look at your to-go list, and before you let the anxieties of the world enter your mind, take 5 to 10 minutes to sit in the presence of the Lord. In these minutes, perform a symbolic act of surrender. Imagine yourself placing each one of your worries, whether they involve your health, your family, or your finances, into the hands of Jesus. Say it out loud. Lord, I give you this burden because I cannot carry it alone today. Many souls experience relief when they understand that God does not ask for a perfect performance, but for a willing heart. This daily practice of morning surrender creates a spiritual shield around your mind. It doesn't mean the challenges will disappear, but it means you will no longer be the one carrying the full weight of them. You are now yoked with the Almighty. As we have seen, his yoke is easy and his burden is light, because he is the one providing the power for every step you take. This is the path of practical faith. It is the realization that everything works together for your good when you allow the light of God's understanding to guide you. When you practice this invisible charity toward yourself by letting go of the need to be perfect, you open the doors for a breakthrough that you haven't been able to achieve through your own effort. The understanding begins to work in your soul, and you will start to notice that the things that used to make you panic now feel manageable. You are growing in faith, and this growth is the most beautiful fruit of your trials. I have seen so many people transform their entire lives by simply dedicating these first few minutes of the day to this deep connection. It depends on the surrender of your heart, but the promises of God are always true and 100% reliable. He is calling you to a life where you are no longer a slave to fear or overwhelm. You are a child of the King, and you have access to a strength that is ancient, infinite, and perfectly tailored to your needs today. As we look toward the final part of our reflection, I want you to hold on to this hope. The peace you feel right now is not temporary. It is the beginning of a lasting transformation. In our next and final section, we will explore the mini reliefs of understanding that God sends our way throughout the day and how to recognize them as signs of your spiritual growth. We will conclude with a powerful moment of prayer to seal these truths in your spirit and prepare you for a day filled with divine power and quiet joy. Now that we have synthesized these steps and embraced this invitation to practice, let us move toward the final culmination of our morning message, where we will see how these principles manifest as constant growth in your walk with Christ. As we reach the final stage of our spiritual gathering today, I want you to take a deep breath and notice the shift that has already occurred within your spirit. Throughout this journey, we have explored the foundations of divine strength and the importance of surrendering our heaviest burdens to the Creator. Now we focus on the beautiful process of inner transformation and those precious mini reliefs of understanding that God sends to us when we least expect them. These are the small, quiet moments where the fog of overwhelm begins to lift, and you suddenly realize that you are stronger than you were yesterday, not because you have changed your circumstances, but because God has changed you. Growth in faith is often a silent and invisible process. It is like a seed beneath the soil. There is a lot of activity happening in the dark before the first green leaf breaks through the surface. When you feel overwhelmed, you are in that sacred darkness. You are being rooted. You are being strengthened in the deep places of your soul where no human eye can see. Every time you choose to trust God instead of spiraling into anxiety, you are experiencing a mini relief of understanding. You are beginning to see that your peace does not depend on a perfect schedule or a problem-free life, but on the presence of the one who promised to never leave you or forsake you. In general, these moments of relief come in the form of a sudden sense of calm in the middle of a busy day, or perhaps a verse from the scriptures that leaps off the page as if it were written just for your current trial. It might be the kindness of a stranger or the beauty of the sunrise that reminds you of the faithfulness of the Almighty. These are not coincidences. They are love letters from the Father, reminding you that everything works together for your good. When you recognize these signs, your inner transformation accelerates. You move from being a victim of your circumstances to being a student of your trials. The scriptures clarify this in practice in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, where we are told to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. This renewal happens when we replace the noise of the world with the melody of God's promises. According to the teachings of our faith, your mind is the battlefield where the victory over overwhelm is won. As you practice the principles we have discussed, your very nature begins to change. You find that you are no longer easily shaken by the waves of life. You have an anchor that holds. I want to challenge you today with a practical application of this growth. Throughout your day, look for 3 mini reliefs of understanding. It could be a moment where you chose to pray instead of worry, or a moment where you felt a brief flash of joy despite your heavy to-do list. Write them down or hold them in your heart. This practice of noticing God's hand in the small things is how you cultivate a heart of gratitude that can withstand any storm. My beloved child, God is doing a new thing in you today. The strength you are receiving is not just to survive this day, but to thrive in your purpose. I have seen so many souls find real relief when they stop looking for a way out and start looking for what God is doing within. Your suffering is being transformed into wisdom, and your trials are being converted into testimonies of grace. It depends on the surrender of your heart, but remember that you have 100% of God's attention and love at every second of your journey. As we close this message, let us enter into a final moment of prayer to seal these truths. Heavenly Father, I thank you for the soul listening to these words. I thank you that you are the source of all strength and the giver of all peace. I pray that you would lift the heavy burdens that this child has been carrying. Give them the grace to surrender everything into your capable hands. Transform their anxiety into trust and their exhaustion into renewal. May they feel your presence as a warm light that never goes out. Grant them the eyes to see the many reliefs of understanding that you send throughout this day, and may they walk in the quiet confidence of those who know they are held by the King of Kings. Go forth today with your head held high, knowing that you are not alone. You have the strength of the Almighty within you, and His peace is your inheritance. Practice this application of faith daily, and you will see the walls of overwhelm crumble before the power of your Creator. Trust the process, trust the timing, and above all, trust the Father. Amen.